I promised Gina a response a while back when she made the blogs, "What if you knew you were going to die young?" and for her. And I've attempted this several times and have yet to be successful at completing this blog, but it's just a hard thing for me to talk about, I guess. I remember being young and naively thinking that my own mortality and facing that would be the hardest thing that I would have to do in life. That understanding that I may suffer in some way and that I will die. And once I had accepted all of that, I thought, well, I've gotten past the hardest things that there are, and nothing can get to me now. And about 7 years ago, I discovered I was very, very wrong about that. There are things that are far worse, far more difficult to handle than your own suffering and your own mortality, at least for me. I have had to watch two of the people in my life who I have loved and respected the most, two of the most incredible, selfless people I have ever known, two people who are constantly driven to change the things around them in a positive way. And unfortunately, I did lose one of them about 3 years ago, and it's something that has torn me apart ever since. And now I face things far, far worse than my own suffering. And what I've tried to learn out of all this experience is that you have to live each day to be the best day it possibly can be. And I try so hard to live by this, and I think in the end I just end up living in panic. Panic that what I didn't get done today, life goals that I didn't achieve by today, may never be achieved ever. And it's not as scary for me as it is for me watching Carrie go through that. I worry that each night when I go to bed, that when I wake up, she'll already be gone. That all the amazing things that I know she wants to achieve and that she can, even despite her condition, she has done everything she possibly can to change the world around her. She's going to save the world from her bed. And I'm terrified that she's not going to live long enough to do that. And every night that she goes to sleep is just another chance for her to not wake up. for her to not achieve what she's capable of, for her to not be able to help all the people that she can and that she will help if and when she gets better, or at least to the point where she can get out of bed and function. This is terrifying to me, and it's something I have to live with every day. Watching the best people I've ever known go through the worst possible experiences I've ever seen. One of the worst parts of all of this is that I've had to face one of my absolute worst fears ever. That being people who are content to be bystanders. People who assume that someone else will do the things that need to be done. People who know that people need help and who assume that someone else will do it. And I've seen it time and time again. And it's unbelievable to me how people can live with themselves when they stand by and let things happen and they don't do anything. They're not actively trying to help. And I see this in Carrie's life, where so many people just assume that someone else is going to help her, someone else is going to help us. And in the end, no one helps. No one helps. And in Gina's case as well, it seems that this too is a major problem. People who assume that someone else will do it, assume that someone else will help. How many people assume that someone else will be an organ donor? Someone else will give blood. That someone else will offer to help the people who are in need. And because everyone assumes that someone else will do it, no one does it. And that is why people die waiting for kidneys. That is why people die waiting for blood and for organs. So I believe there was a challenge to prove that you're an organ donor. So here I am, this little heart that says I'm an organ donor. So don't be a bystander. Be one of the people that actually does something.